Soft power. Is this the key to Korea's success in the Western entertainment industry? We've heard it so many times before whenever someone asks what it would take for the Philippines or any other Asian country to create a group as successful as BTS and get accepted in the West the same way Korea has been. The most popular answer is to develop our soft power. But for us to know how to do that, we need to first get through some things. We need to understand several things. Number one, what is soft power? Two, how did South Korea develop their soft power? Three, how did this so-called soft power create the success of BTS? And four, can we actually replicate it? Hi! Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I would really appreciate it. What on earth is soft power? While hard power uses guns, authority, or maybe even money to force people into doing something, soft power shapes the preference of others through appeal and attraction. Soft power makes you want to do something. When you see a celebrity wearing a beautiful dress and it makes you want to buy that dress, that's the celebrity exercising their soft power. The celebrity didn't force you into wanting to buy that dress. You just wanted it because you saw her or him wearing it. That's why soft power is often associated with entertainment. It's often celebrities that make people want to do or buy something without using physical or tangible force. However, John Hammer, head of the Center for Strategic and International Studies, said that it is actually a lot more complicated than that. You have to think about how that celebrity wielded that power. How did that celebrity end up having that influence? It's by doing music, movies, TV shows, fashion shows, TV endorsements, getting awards, getting those interviews on magazines, having those accolades. They build up their reputation and image, and they provide substance to support their claim. Now, if the assumption is that BTS became popular because of South Korea's soft power, then it is assumed that South Korea already had soft power before BTS. So we need to understand, how did it make itself so powerful? Who were the celebrities it created that became so popular internationally and so influential? Let me make it easy on you. No one. According to Joseph Nye of Harvard University, when you talk about a country, the concept of soft power expands. It expands into three currencies: strong culture, good political values, and a vibrant foreign policy. Culture, of course, includes arts and entertainment. Hammer added that soft power grows out of the strength and confidence of a society in its identity and culture, and in the wholesomeness and constructiveness of a society's construction. So let me just clarify that soft power isn't just about movies that will win awards or TV shows that will get licensed or music videos that will go viral. First and foremost, there are three major components. There's the strong culture, good political values, and good foreign policies. It's when these three things come together and result to good things that a country actually establishes a strong soft power. When it results to good things that other people from other countries start desiring it, they start desiring what we have without being forced to do so. So it's about those three things: strong culture, good political values, and strong foreign policies. And arts and entertainment is actually under culture. So how did South Korea develop their soft power? Their soft power was actually 800 years in the making. And they started with their values that are grounded on faith. Faith isn't really grounded on anything. We believe in something with no evidence. That's why it's called faith. Otherwise, it would just be called science. Therefore, it's harder to shake, harder to disprove, because we don't actually have any proof at all. Well, at least nothing tangible. South Korea knew this. Hong-nak Kim of West Virginia University, in his paper titled Change and Continuity in Korean Political Culture, said that Korean political culture has been deeply influenced by Confucianism, the official state doctrine of the Joseon dynasty. Confucianism places great emphasis on maintaining hierarchy in a social order, stressing that an individual's social identity has to be defined in the context of collectivity, particularly within the context of family and kinship. That is why Korea has designed its laws and regulations to encourage, almost force Koreans to follow the traditional form of family. This is an important era in Korean history. Under the Joseon dynasty, for almost 600 years, Koreans lived their own culture, spoke their own language, and structured their own society. Operative word, their own. They were developing and strengthening their own culture and identity. And that was the beginning of their soft power. Beyond government. Number 2, bringing their culture along to their industrial journey. When South Korea underwent industrialization beginning in the early 60s, they also started transitioning to a democratic form of government. From 1963s to the late 80s, South Korea's economic development was phenomenal. The GNP grew more than 10% per year. And during this period, Korean society experienced a massive transformation from traditionally an agrarian society to a dynamic industrial economy. But while they were growing their economy, they were preserving their culture and arts. In 1962, they put into law the Cultural Heritage Protection Act and has been regularly updating it since. They created the Cultural Heritage Administration, or CHA. The CHA oversees the preservation of cultural and historical sites, folk customs, food, music, dance, written literature, and handicraft. The program also includes living national treasures. These are people who possess the knowledge and skills important to pass down intangible cultural heritage to new generations. These people are very, very important to them, and they go around the country teaching younger generations what they know. South Korea has founded several educational centers throughout the country. They even established a university specifically dedicated to preserving, teaching, and growing their own culture and tradition. It is through the CHA that they were able to fund movies and TV shows that talks about their history, tradition, and culture. Note that the films and TV shows they support don't have to be historical in nature. They just have to mirror the culture, values, and traditions of South Korea. It is also through the CHA that they were able to construct venues to celebrate their culture and traditions through shows, concerts, and other events. However, I think the greatest achievement of CHA is the nurturing of relationship between people, their citizens, the Koreans, and their culture. Because government changes, right? Every several years, they elect a new president. Even laws get amended. But the one thing that is consistent is that there will always be a way of life. People will always live their life, and culture is a huge part of it. So CHA was actually able to develop the love, the desire for their own culture, so that even when CHA is working with the state government or the provincial government, communities are actually organizing themselves and seeking the leadership of CHA so that they can ensure that their culture and traditions continue to grow and get upheld. Is soft power the key to K-pop's international success? South Korea isn't the first country to develop their soft power. Remember the definition of soft power. It's the strength of and confidence of a society in its identity and culture, and the wholesomeness and constructiveness of a society's construction. Japan has one of the strongest soft power in the world. We can also argue that India does too. They were also way ahead in Hollywood over South Korea. Slumdog Millionaire won the Oscars back in 2008. Yoga is one of the most appropriated, by woke definition, cultural aspects in the world. Indian jewelries, music are all over the world. Bollywood is in fact a bigger industry than Hollywood. Japan has had Akira Kurosawa, and he remains a recognized, respected, and popular figure in international filmmaking. Kimono is, again by woke definition, rampantly appropriated. And do we even have to talk about China? Yet, they don't have any pop stars on the level of BTS. The thing is that the connection between BTS and soft power is a misplaced correlation. Soft power wasn't the direct reason for BTS's success. Soft power was the reason Korea was able to create such a vibrant entertainment industry that opened the stage for all boy bands and girl groups and other artists. When their entertainment industry matured, they were able to expand. It allowed their private companies to experiment, evolve, expand, and become the rich industry they are today. And that's what we should be aiming for first: strengthening our identity, preserving our culture, and growing our art. We need to think about us first. We cannot project confidence, glamour, and beauty if we don't believe we have it. That will, of course, take decades, if not centuries, but we need to get it done. Let's clean up our own house, and then we can look into conquering other lands. Hollywood is cliquish. Another thing that we need to understand, and I've said this many times, is that Hollywood is incredibly cliquish. It is controlled by few powerful people, and nobody gets in Hollywood unless they allow it. If they are fair, if they are really basing their decisions on numbers, with the amount of Hollywood K-pop artists that are outselling Hollywood artists, then Hollywood would have been littered by K-pop artists by now. But it's not. It's not, because they're very protective and defensive of their own. With all the glory that BTS is getting, they are still getting deprived of awards that they deserve, or the radio spins that they deserve, or the respect that they deserve. They got into Hollywood simply because they became so successful, their numbers became so big that they did not give Hollywood a choice but to let them in. It just came to a stage, a place where it just became so obvious that if they are not allowed in, then Hollywood will prove themselves to be a-holes. That's basically their story. They just didn't give Hollywood a chance but to let them in. So if it wasn't for soft power, how did BTS become so big? Quality music, quality choreography, right messages at the right time that cut through all cultural and racial divides, quality performances, hard work, using their brains, and they made an effort to develop a strong and intimate relationship with their fans. That is, of course, oversimplifying it, because each of those has multiple layers. But South Korea's soft power nurtured the entertainment industry, and it was that industry that inspired the creation of BTS. But it was the music, the talent, the right management, their brains, and the army that pushed BTS to the West. So aiming for soft power as a ticket to the international stage could be a misstep. Soft power is for us, so we can take pride in our own culture, love it, see the beauty in it, fight for it, and grow it. That will then allow us to create a vibrant entertainment industry. Can we replicate BTS's success? It's the same thing as asking whether or not we can replicate the success of the Beatles, Elvis, Michael Jackson. Has anyone ever been able to replicate their successes? I think wanting to replicate somebody else's success is a surefire way to fail. When the Korean government started strengthening their own culture, it wasn't because they wanted to develop a new Michael Jackson or a new Whitney Houston and then ship it stateside. It wasn't because of that. They wanted to rediscover their own identity, strengthen their own culture, because they wanted to rise as a nation, become one, and then rise as a nation in every aspect, culturally, economically, technologically. But it wasn't for other people. It was for them first. And I think for us, for the Philippines, and for many Asian countries, that's the goal. We need to first rediscover our own identities, rediscover our love for our own culture, appreciate our arts, culture, and tradition, and then want it to grow, push it towards growth. And we need to it's probably going to take us decades, if not centuries, but we do need to start developing our soft power. But I also want to emphasize that we have to be realistic about what soft power is. It's not the be all and end all of many of our problems. It's not the only requirement for us to be able to penetrate the US market or the Western market, but it is important. I mean, look at the Berlin Wall. It was knocked down not because missiles and tanks and guns were pointing at the government. It was because of decades of people clamoring for change, because they were already influenced by the Western messaging, Western broadcast, Western culture that are actually emphasizing freedom. So if we don't develop our soft power, then we're missing out on that. But we're also going to commit the same mistake if we start thinking that that's the ultimate solution to all or many of our problems. Key takeaways: soft power is first and foremost for us. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to appreciate our identity. We need to appreciate and love our culture. We need to want to advance our own arts and entertainment. That is what we need to accomplish first. When we accomplish that, then once we love it, once we know that it is beautiful, then other countries and other people from other countries will feel that too. Number two, BTS is a different animal. We need to stop looking at them, and we cannot replicate their success. They have their own journey. They have their own story, and we will have our own. We will write our own history as well. We will write our own story. They just did not follow the conventions. It's just impossible to replicate. If we copy them, we're going to fail. It is better to write our own story. So we need to respect and be grateful for the contribution that we've made, but we need to write our own story. Number three, is it possible for us to get an exception, for a Filipino artist to get into Hollywood and just make it without the rest of the country having to strengthen its own soft power? Of course. An exception is always possible. That is always on the table. But it doesn't change the fact that if we want to be unified as a country, if we want to move forward as a country, we do need to strengthen our own soft power. I have a lot of faith in our country. I have a lot of faith in our talents and in our people. I know we will make it. And this is the same for all other Asian countries. I'm a lover of Asian culture, Asian tradition, and Asian art. I know that. We have what it takes to dominate the entire industry, but I do believe that it has to start here first. We need to establish our own in each of our countries first, and then as a continent. That first, and then the rest will follow. The rest will be easy. That's it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave them in the comment section below. You can also get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I would really appreciate it. Till next time.